Hello everyone, it's Annabelle from Reading Geek, and today I will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag, which is something I had no idea existed. I'm like learning things as I go as somebody who's relatively new to booktube, but I appreciate this tag because after January I did go MIA for about 4 months, so I can kind of delve into a little bit of what I read throughout those months. But let's get to it. I'm so excited to share with you guys what I've been reading this first half of the year. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I don't think I've had the greatest reading year thus far. It hasn't been terrible, but like not anything to, I don't know, call home about. Number 1, what is the best book you've read in 2020 so far? Silvia Moreno Garcia's The Beautiful Ones. This is a 2017 release from her. She is the author of Gods of Jade and Shadow, and her upcoming book, Mexican Gothic, comes out July 30th. Listen, when I love a book and I'm enjoying it, I can't shut up about it. And it's in real time. On my Bookstagram account, I was in my stories 24/7 talking about this book. This is about a young country girl. This is set in the Belle Epoque. So it's like a Regency kind of romance with a hint of fantasy in it. Really the only fantasy aspect is that there are people with telekinetic powers, and our main character Nina is one of those people. And because she has telekinetic powers, she's kind of ostracized about it. Women aren't supposed to be using telekinetic powers. She becomes involved in a bit of a love triangle with her cousin's wife, Valerie, who is the villainess. I love her. She's terrible and I love her. And Hector, who is this telekinetic performer, who is a self-made man, and he was the young lover of Val. So when they were in their youth, they had fallen in love, but he decided to go off and make a living for himself, and he did. He's a successful performer, and he comes back into town to go after Valerie, but Valerie's married to Nina's cousin, and the drama ensues. Okay, I don't even know how to explain it. I love this book so much. Besides the drama, like this really gives me telenovela vibes. I'm loving this love triangle. Valerie is the most well-rounded, like, villain, terrible person. Ugh, I love Valerie. Like, I love to hate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Loved to hate her. And it is beautifully written. Silvia Moreno Garcia is just like such a great writer. And I love what she's doing because all of her books that have come out so far are all very different. She is inserting Mexican characters into books that they're usually not written into, or at least we don't see much of them. So anyway, The Beautiful Ones is my favorite of the year, and this book is going to pop up multiple times in this video. I know it. My favorite sequel that I read in 2020 is Crooked Kingdom, Book 2 in the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. I think this was very well done. It gave me all the feels. She is very good at tying in plot and character development, especially in a book like this where we have such a large cast of characters with our... I'm not going to explain to you guys what Six of Crows is about, all right? Look it up. It's late. And I've tried filming this a lot of times. But yeah, she does very well with writing well-rounded characters with depth. And we got to delve into the lives and the kind of origin stories of the other characters that we didn't really delve too much into in book 1, like Jesper and Wyland. So I'm really happy about that. First of all, I have an issue with the fact that this Netflix adaptation isn't gonna have Wyland in it. That's my baby. And he's not been casted. So I don't know. Low-key, high-key, ruin the show for me. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, that was, I don't know if I explained that well, but that was my favorite sequel of the year. A new release that you haven't read yet that you're super duper excited for. For me, I have to stop doing that. Am I just thirsty all the time? Like, what's going on? I am kind of thirsty right now. And that is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. Okay, so I don't know too much about this. I just see that N.K. Jemisin is hyped up as hell. And when I bought this book, it was after seeing multiple people in the book community just give raving reviews about it. And I just have New York City near and dear in my heart. And this book is set in New York City, and it has like different avatars for all of the boroughs. They come together to fight some sort of evil, and it sounds so cool to me. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to read that book. I'm hoping to get to it in like July, August, definitely summertime. I've accumulated so many books during quarantine that we got a lot to read. We'll get to that soon. All right, most anticipated release of the second half of the year, and that is Silvia Moreno Garcia's Mexican Gothic. I mean, what did you think I was gonna say? I love Silvia Moreno Garcia. All right, so this is Mexican Gothic. It is something completely different. I haven't really read any Gothic horrors, but I'm a little bit of a horror fanatic when it comes to movies. So I'm really excited to delve into this and see how it goes. It's basically about a socialite in 1950s or 60s, I believe, Mexico, and she gets a distressing letter from her cousin telling her that she believes her husband is trying to kill her. So this girl goes to the rescue and arrives at High Place, this creepy mansion on a hill in Mexico, in the countryside of Mexico. While there, she starts having these creepy, haunting dreams, and her cousin's husband is like alluring but like super creepy, and like, you know, like I think he's hiding something. I don't know. I'm just really excited to read a story about a haunted house set in Mexico, and I hope that's like an all-nighter read, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't put it down. What is your biggest disappointment of the year so far? I put a couple down. First, Prime Meridian by Silvia Moreno Garcia. It is a novella I picked up, just a little bit over 100 pages, I believe, or maybe a little under. I digress. But when I saw it, it gave me the idea that it was going to be like a sort of space adventure, and it was far from it. It was a bit of a like existentialist piece. We have this young girl who dropped out of college to take care of her mother, is working odd jobs and just living this like pointless cyclical life that doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. And it goes on like this for most of the book, and we don't get really much of a sense of hope till the very end. So for this one, I feel like I just wanted more. I wanted to see if our main character actually succeeded in doing what she wanted, which was to go to Mars. It doesn't happen in the duration of the story. I feel like it's just not what I was expecting from it. I was expecting a space adventure, and I came in and I was just like, yo, what? I guess with short stories or novellas like that, that's kind of what you get, you know what I'm saying? I was expecting way too much from it. The other disappointment was Beach Read by Emily Henry. Guys, I DNF'd that book at 300 pages. The book is like 350 pages. I just gave up. You know what? When you just can't go on, like nothing is holding you down. Like I could care less. I really didn't give a fuck about the story anymore. And about language. If I ever get to that May wrap-up video, you know, we're gonna do the May wrap-up video. I'll delve into that a little more. I'm a hot mess. What is your biggest surprise so far this year? Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I really enjoyed Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I was a little iffy coming into this book, and it had been on my shelf for forever, but there have been so many mixed reviews about it that I was just like, I'm so scared to get into this, because at the same time, like, I've enjoyed her Six of Crows duology, but I tried reading the Grisha trilogy and I didn't really like the first book, so I dropped it. So I knew that she was a bit of a mixed bag. I wouldn't know what I was gonna get if I was gonna truly enjoy it or not give a damn. But I really enjoyed Ninth House. It was a little bit slow, which is, I think, is why a lot of people didn't like it, but it didn't really bother me. I think it worked perfectly fine in the story. She did really good world building. I loved all of her characters. Darlington. And then Alex really grew on me. I actually did a reading vlog, but I think it's just really bad. It may or may not come out at some point. I think the societies are so cool. The whole magic system with all these secret societies and them having specific magical abilities, I think was absolutely awesome. And I think I have a thing for occult, like magic stories. So if anybody wants to know, you know, drop some suggestions down below. I would not be opposed. I really enjoyed this sort of like mystery thriller aspect to it, where we have Alex trying to figure out who murdered this young woman and trying to connect it to the society somehow. Because I didn't explain this, but Alex is part of this organization called the Lethe, and they're basically in charge of regulating all the houses and making sure they don't, you know, overstep their boundaries and do something that might cause harm to any other, I guess, like civilian, or cause any evil to like get through the void or whatever it is, the veil, that's what it's called. And I think book 2 is just gonna get amped up, because that ending, I'm excited. Who is my favorite new author? Now, I can just say Silvia Moreno Garcia, because I didn't know she was my new favorite author until I read The Beautiful Ones in the beginning of February. I've gushed about Silvia Moreno Garcia enough. She's a favorite. We're talking about Nalo Hopkinson, and I'm reading her book of short stories, Skinfolk. She's a Caribbean author. I actually picked this up for June Read Caribbean. This is Caribbean Heritage Month as well as Pride Month, so we should be reading some of this too. She, I believe, is a sci-fi fantasy writer. I have seen that she has some works of fantasy, some full books, but like, it's so weird but poignant. Like, there's very important topics spoken about in this book, and she uses like fantasy and sci-fi and just like the weird and unnatural to tell these stories. And I think it is so cool. I believe she is what one would call a speculative fiction author, which I need to read more of because I'm really digging it. So, you know, NK Jemisin, I'm coming your way. She's just talented. Like, her writing pulls you in right away. It's very vivid and you can see it playing in your head. And her stories don't tell. It's like show, don't tell, right? So she's very descriptive in that sense, and we don't really understand specifically what's happening until the very end. And the reveal is always very satisfying, or the endings are always very satisfying in these stories. So I really, really like her. Newest fictional crush. Okay, so Ruby Doyle stole my heart in Things in Jars by Jess Kidd. He is this character that deserves so much more. I feel like his character arc was not like... He deserved better. Okay, I don't like how it ended with him, is all I'm saying. He's a tatted up boxer that just so happens to be a ghost because he died in the middle of a fight. He's a ghost that follows around the main protagonist of Things in Jars, Brittany, and he just kind of has her back. And you get the feeling that he's in love with her. And he's the sweetest person in the world. He's always cracking jokes. And I feel like, I don't know. He's a dreamboat. He's a dreamboat, and I wish he was alive. Favorite character. I didn't really have a newest favorite character, I have to say. I really enjoyed Darlington in Ninth House. And Aurora Burning. Listen, I didn't love Aurora Burning. I liked it. That's for the May wrap up that never came. That will hopefully come. But Zila, who is the quiet, stoic medic on the, I believe it's crew through 312 of the Aurora Legion. And she's the only sane person on that freaking crew. I'm telling you right now. Everybody else is absolutely bonkers. She is who I relate to most. She's absolutely precious. She has to be protected at all costs. She's the only character that really pops up to my mind right now. Bitch, Valerie from The Beautiful Ones. The best villain. Love to hate her. She's amazing. Book that made you cry. This is also a favorite of 2020, and it is Clap When You Land. I felt so seen in this book. That's Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I cried multiple times. I had to finish this book in a night because I wasn't gonna like prolong me just getting all up in my feelings with this book. This was really personal for me because I myself have dealt with the loss of a parent. So yeah, this book does deal with grief and two sisters losing their father to a plane crash. So being Dominican as well, because I feel like this book just hit too many fucking marks with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't take it. I cried a lot. Book is amazing. Elizabeth Acevedo is so talented with wordplay, and like she's a poet. One of the best. Oh my god, I loved this book so much. But yeah, it made me cry a lot. Book that made me happy. The Beautiful Ones by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I enjoyed reading that book so much. But anyway, let's pick another book. A book that just was like this light, fluffy, joyous read. I just finished it. It was Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. Oh my god, it was just so cute and hilarious. Like I can't say much about it. There's this kid going to college, Biddy, and he's gonna play for the hockey team of some university, Samuel University, I believe it is. And he is just this little ball of sunshine. He loves to bake pies and stuff. And then all the dudes in the team are like frat dudes. I loved that book. That was enjoyable. I actually just ordered Check Please 2 because I want to continue it. We're excited for that one. Most beautiful cover. This book isn't like conventionally beautiful, but I just think it has such a cool cover. And that is Pizza Girl by Jean Kyung Fraser. You may have seen it in my previous video, most anticipated reads of 2020. But yeah, this is look at that freaking cover. It is so cool. This is KKS. And if you want to know what this book is about, go look at my other video. But I'm going to show you another book that is, I think, fits more into the beautiful book cover. Clap When You Land. This cover is gorgeous. The entire book, like from back to finish, and then naked as well. We get the island, we get the city, and we get this beautiful color palette that I'm tempted to put in my bedroom. Are we repainting these walls? No, we're not. We're not. But those are the most beautiful covers to me of 2020 so far. Last but not least, what books do I need to finish by the end of the year? Okay, a lot of books. A lot. I'm just gonna list all the books that I'm really excited to be reading. The Poppy War, The City We Became, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, I Am the Messenger by what's his face, Cantoras by Carolina de Robertis, So We Can Glow by Lena Cross Smith, More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. Listen, I was supposed to read this in January as like a hype me up, get yourself motivated for the new year, but I mean, you know, 2020 felt a shit anyway. So I have the rest of this year to read more than enough to prepare for next year. Felix Ever After. I'm gonna be reading that this month. My Case In Calendar. It's been getting a lot of hype and I'm really excited to read it. The Undocumented Americans. This Is How You Lose the Time War. Listen, we're gonna stop right there because I could just list every freaking book on my physical TBR right now. But I'm not going to do that. Well, that's the end of this video. Before we go, I want to tag Only Lovers Book Club, Books in My Louie, and Fantasy Book Addict. And if you guys just want to do this tag and for some reason haven't heard of it, bro, if I heard of it, you heard of it. Do it. It was fun. It was a great way to kind of like check back and really get an idea of what I enjoyed this year. Please do the tag. That is all. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.